Well, we are a U.S. cruiser force here, guys. Actually, this is the Battle of Guadalcanal. It looks like we've actually been intercepted by potential Japanese vessels. We were expecting just standard transport ships, but I think we got a little more than we bargained for. Let's go ahead and start to set targets. Actually, what I'm going to do here is take Fahrenholt and decide on a navigation mode directly ahead. These guys will follow him and hopefully provide some pretty decent fire to this guy. In fact, I'm just breaking away for a sec because I want to turn him even more this way, if that's possible. And we're going to start selecting enemy ships for targeting. I'm also going to make sure that these guys are lit up and that all of these guys have their radar going. So let's just make sure we'll go through the fleet here, get everybody's radar on, and of course start lighting up enemy targets. I think I want to try and take some separate targets here. Let's see if we can't do that. First things first. Now with Buchanan as well, I'm going to go ahead and target... Let's target actually the lead ship there. Not the actual lead ship, but this one right here. And we're going to make sure that we're firing SS Starshell rounds to spot them. So my idea is, of course, to swing with these other ships, continue to target them, and hopefully take them down. Now, I'm going to try not to target all of these ships at once, so I'm going to sort of try to spread out the barrages here. I think I've been doing too much of targeting single ships, and that's not necessarily going to lead to much. So let's go ahead and begin. Now, the one thing I have not gotten used to in this game at all is the actual, what's it called, the recognition manual. We're going to try to use it, but I'll be honest with you guys, it's not looking great. And with this fellow, let's go ahead and... Actually, I wanted to target the lead ship there. We've got the radar on, just making sure of that. Let's get started. And at this point, I want him to fire those Starshell rounds. Let's make sure he's loading the Starshell there. Be able to properly spot the enemy, and then we're going to go for these other ships back here. We've got some very heavy ships here. The Salt Lake City and the Behemoth behind her. There we go, getting those Starshell rounds up. Let's pop over to this fellow here. He doesn't have a target yet. And I just want to take a look at sort of where we are here. We're pretty far from the enemy there until we make that turn with Fahrenholt. And again, we're trying to make that turn so that our broadsides are going to be locking onto the enemy. So I'm going to try to make it easier for our other guys to get the target and start firing some Starshell rounds right here at this lead ship. Let's get a few more of those. I know not everybody's firing around, that's for sure. Be sure to fire some Starshell. I want to make sure that we see everything in that area before we start actually firing in there. And target solution is 46%. That's good, like quite good for nighttime. We're going to begin firing, guys, on target. In fact, I'm going to switch over here. I want to see first what my target solution is here. 92. My goodness, I don't think we've had target solutions this good in a long time. Let's keep firing, and apparently we have determined the class type. I don't know if it's just because we've managed to keep these guys in our line of sight or what it is, but that's pretty amazing. And with these direct hits here, 88% target solution, I'm absolutely going to take it. I'm actually going to go for the ship behind Aoba as well. You can see me switching that target there. The only difference I'm going to make is over here by Fubuki. I want to make sure that he is easy to spot. Let's get those Starshell rounds in. Fire at will. We can start sending these destroyers if we want on individual missions against the ships. Try to go potentially for some torpedo kills, etc. In fact, I might do that. I'm going to turn over there with the Laffy. Laffy doesn't actually have a target right now, so we'll give him the Fubuki as a target and just start moving that way. Fire. Alright, nice. A few hits on the Fubuki. This is one of their destroyers. Obviously, I don't want him getting very close. We all know what the Japanese destroyers, or what any destroyer, really does do once they get their hands on you. So let's go ahead. I want to fire those Starshell rounds. You can see the guns actually already turning to accommodate that order. I think it's just important to make sure everybody sees that Fubuki. And I'm actually going to fire some armor piercers here. I'll let him get one more Starshell round off. You know what? I'm going to turn the Fubuki into the enemy as well here. Looks like the Laffy just continued going right. We're going to have to straighten her out here. Fubuki is sinking. Wow. Our shots are damn good. Like, really, really good. All right, I didn't expect that to happen that quickly. Guys, let's focus on this fellow right here, the Fahrenholt. Excuse me, not the Fahrenholt. I don't know what to call him, but we're going to fire at that guy. And the Ioba is the one we actually have information on. So you know what? I think I'd rather actually fire at the Ioba. We've already got info on this particular ship. We might as well use it. Fahrenholt is steaming straight towards that target. And again, we're making sure that he doesn't go too off course. So I'm going to keep him on course for now. Do the same over here with the Laffy. Gonna slowly turn right. And if we get close enough, then of course we will open up. So you can see, look at that, man. The ship back there is taking quite a beating. I just want to keep up our current targets. No real reason to change, I don't think. This guy's still firing at the Ioba. In fact, it might be a good idea to fire at the ship in front of the Fubuki. I am going to change my target, because I know in this game it's really easy to just fire at something because it's a big target, as opposed to spreading your shots out. In fact, I'm even going to make sure we're firing Starshell rounds. Let's get these guys on target. There we go. You can already see them all popping up here from previous Starshell round bursts, and I'm sure that that's going to continue here. I'm not stopping chasing these guys either. I'm actually thinking of taking the Fahrenholt and completely changing the navigation waypoint. So we're just going to go right up north with the Fahrenholt. Same over here with the Duncan. He's taken a bit of a beating, hasn't he? Alright, Helena does not have a target. And once again, I think we have to target that Ioba. Such a big ship. But let's go for the real danger, which is this destroyer coming at us. And look at that. Instant hits on him. Absolutely adore it. The only thing I might do is go ahead and fire some more of those Starshell rounds, just to be able to make him a more visible target here. Oh, he popped torps. He definitely popped torps. Now, the distance is pretty dramatic. But as you can see, the Salt Lake City was already struck by a torpedo. So was the Boise. So their torps are pretty damn effective at the moment. Certainly seems that way anyway. And you know what? The San Francisco is way too close to that destroyer. We have to switch targets. Let's target that Fubuki-class destroyer quickly. We could improve target solution here. So let's hold. Fire. Looks like they finally managed to damage one of our actual guns. Now, that's not what I was looking for at all. Come on, get those Starshell rounds, boys. I hope somebody's also fixing the damn ship. At least this time we're really spreading out the damage. Instead of just focusing on a single target, it does seem like we are spreading this damage out quite significantly. I'm going to keep on trying to spot them with those rounds. Those Starshell rounds are saving us, just making it a lot easier to see the enemies here. Come on, San Francisco. Might try to turn him even more here. Now, he's listing a little bit to the right, let's be honest. He's taking some nasty hits. But if he can knock out the Fubuki, wonderful. That was pretty bad. I thought for a second there that it was a torpedo, but it looks like a magazine explosion. So, really serious, of course. Make sure that he's got AP on here. Armor-piercing shells. And I'm going to take the Boise. I don't know if this is wise. I'm going to try to navigate him right through here. Starting to move, but he's doing it, you know, it's going to take a little while, and that's fine. I want him to take his time. Don't want anybody to rush out of this area. And And with the Helena, I think I'm going to do the same thing. This is such a beautiful ship, but I feel like she could be so much more useful out here closer to the enemy fleet. I even might do the same thing with Salt Lake City, but we've already got the Aoba targeted. I don't see any reason to switch that targeting right now. We might as well just keep it until the end. Looks like we also got the Fubuki on fire. That's what I like to see. She is burning up quickly. And look at that, another one of the Japanese ships right there. Getting some pretty decent shots at the moment. Now, I did have a newbie mistake here. I did not have my radar on for the Fahrenhold, which would increase target solution. It'll make it easier for us to actually spot the enemy. So Fahrenhold and this fellow here, Duncan, they're definitely taking some nasty hits. They've taken some nasty hits. They are destroyers here, so I'm not entirely surprised. Of course, they have to get closer to try and use those torps, and sometimes that could cause problems like this, obviously. I think the only thing I'm going to change, really, Buchanan has been struck by a torpedo. A lot of our ships getting struck by those torps as they escape. So I guess we'll just keep our fire on Fubuki, although it would actually be better to start targeting the Aoba with this guy too, because he's actually in our line of sight. And the Fubuki we have to target with the Salt Lake City. Again, potentially getting those Star Shell rounds there because the percentage is pretty low. So let's go ahead and get some Star Shell. Only have our secondaries working, man. Wow. Talk about a pretty serious situation, but he only has his secondaries working. Not sure why that is. I could actually completely turn the ship here so that he's using the right-sided cannons, and I think I might do that. Because this is looking like a very strange situation, and he's got great solution, but just can't get a shot off. Alright, this is the Helena. We had sent her off quite a while ago, and she's still firing at the Fubuki. In fact, we can open it up a little bit more and actually make it a wider firing range. That's what we're going to do. So pretty much just straighten her out. %, come on. And actually, I didn't even notice this, but they have another ship excuse me, another ship right here, kind of ahead of all the others. I honestly didn't see him. But what I think I'm going to try to do, considering Duncan is pretty hurt, is I'm going to try to hit this thing with torpedoes despite the distance. What we're going to do for that is we're going to make the spread pretty dramatic. So if this thing is moving fast, it should be able to catch up in front of him, but you never know. Let's have it fire. And with all this going on board, I'm not even sure he's going to get them off. We'll see if those tubes pop. But I'm not actually seeing the tubes pop, and again, it could be a question of distance, really. I've hit targets at 2,000 yards with torpedoes, but nothing under that. Or nothing over that, I should say. And actually, I'm going to switch targets here to the Boise. So it's good to see, excuse me, not the Boise, the, whatever we call it, we don't know the name. It's good to see that we are getting some hits on target. I mean, that was a big issue before, and I feel like now we can actually spot the enemy, actually do some serious damage. If we can keep this up, this could turn out beautifully. In fact, I want to get that guy back there. Wait, is that the Fubuki? I think that's the Fubuki, yeah. Wow. So she still hasn't sunk entirely. She's still got a ways to go, but Fahrenhold is moving up over here on this fellow. And actually, I'm going to try to go wide once again. I want those torpedoes to hit. Solution is 52. It's not awful. Ooh! A nasty hit there. We can't leave without taking out these enemy ships. I think it's just 100% going to be necessary. Look at that. Look at that. Consistent fire. Unfortunately, the Boise is going down. This is the last one I would expect to actually sink. He's one of our heavies, for sure. So the fact that he would go down with the San Francisco, that is sad to say the least. We've got to make it worth their time. We've got to destroy these enemy ships, for sure. See how they're looking over here? Not looking great. Nice. Be a few shots under the waterline wouldn't be such a bad idea either. Could switch to AP rounds, but these high explosive rounds are doing a pretty good job all by themselves. You know what? I'm going to switch my targets to the heavy. And actually, switch my targets to the heavy here too. If I could get the torpedo to fire. Because I'm thinking with something like that, we are going to need something like the Duncan or the Fahrenhold to actually break in. I'm actually turning west, or north in this case, with the Duncan. And I'm going full speed ahead against that ship. The only thing I'm doing wrong here, the Helena should be separate. The Ioba is sinking. All right, guys. Looking nice there. We finally got the Ioba. She was hanging out in the background for quite a while. The Fubuki is also still alive, incredibly. Let's keep doing damage to the ships we can at the very least. I'm actually going to switch targets over here with the Fahrenhold. I'm not giving this guy room to breathe. Oh, yeah. And actually, I'm going to switch to those AP rounds if we have any. I know that target solution isn't bad, but I don't expect it's going to take much more to sink this guy. Fire. Hopefully this time the torpedo's fired. Don't think so, though. I think our torpedoes might be offline. They just aren't working well. That's it. Nice. Pinged off the control tower. You know what? I think with the Duncan now we can go for that torpedo shot, but it looks like it's going to be the other side of the Duncan. Yeah, that's not making any sense. Careful here. I'm going to try to pull him back in reverse. So we could have a collision here pretty easily. And this guy full speed ahead. There we go. We should be all right. Now with the Macalla, I think we could target him and do quite well. The Furutaka heavy cruiser. You know what? We're going to target that. Sounds a lot more dangerous. But what I will do, get back to those Star Shell rounds. Hold on so that they actually start loading them, and we're going to start firing the Star Shell rounds. In the meantime, I'm also going to straighten them out just a little bit. Not too bad. Not too shabby. Fire! Just have to be very careful here. An actual collision could easily occur, and I mean easily occur out here. I actually wasn't trying to lower his speed. My apologies. I was trying to turn him. There we go. Look at how close he's getting. Look at how close he's getting, man. Furutaka is sinking. Beautiful. Guys, we are sending them all to the bottom of Davy Jones' locker, but now we've got another problem, and that is the approaching heavy cruiser here. In fact, what I really wanted to do is use my torpedoes against him. I don't know if that's going to work. Never tried reverse torpedoes before, I'll be honest with you. Yeah, I would need to swing out to be able to use them. For now, we're just going to target him with just about everybody we can. The Macalla, specifically. And maybe even bring the Macalla closer to the Aobo so that we could get a good old-fashioned torpedo strike. In fact, I'm going to give him a waypoint there. It's sad to see the Fahrenhold sink, but it's the price we have to pay for victory. I'm just glad we got the damn Aoba finally. Now let's switch over here. What we thought was the Aoba. We've got two selected as the Aoba, so there could be more than one, I guess, light cruiser here. Good, good. As always, guys, if you enjoy these videos and you want to see more, like, comment, subscribe. It helps big time. I'm going to actually try to fire my torps here. I think maybe out the right side. I might be able to fire them. I'm losing my voice because I've been doing a ridiculous amount of videos on this game. The Salt Lake City is sinking. That's not good there at all. Yeah, that's one of our big ones for sure. Come on, get the Ioba. In fact, now I think we could try Torps. Fire. I didn't necessarily need to spread these at all, but what's done is done. Oh, I see. Fire. Please fire those Torps. Please fire those Torps. I think he got them off. I think he got some Torps off. Let's see, guys. This could be the moment of truth right here. The Salt Lake City also got hit by a torpedo. The enemy's done really good on their torpedo game, I'm not even going to lie. But Ioba might be sailing into total peril. I certainly hope so. Here we go. Oh. Not bad. I was expecting another torpedo, but I'll take that. There we go. I knew there had to be another torpedo there. And he's even on fire. Fubuki is sinking. That one went down damn fast, too. And I believe now the only one we have left to deal with is the Ioba. We've got to send her down to the bottom of Davy Jones' locker. I'm going to see if I can fire more Torps. I believe I'm out, but you never know. No, we have more Torps. We certainly do, folks. Anything to take this guy out. Here we go. Look at that. 1, 2, 3. It's just a sight for sore eyes. It really is. I'm going to switch to the AP rounds. And let's just keep firing at this guy. Try to increase damage, of course. Talk about a true naval battle here. Let me know in the comments down below if you think the torpedoes are going to hit before we get a proper view of them. I actually don't think so. This ship is moving really fast. Even with a spread like that, I don't know if it's going to do much of a difference. Here we go. Maybe we can tag them with 1 or 2. If we got all 4, that would be an absolute blessing. 1, 2, 3... I'll take it. I will absolutely take 3 for sure. Let's make sure this guy is also firing at that target. He didn't select a new target after firing at the Fubuki, and I see no reason why not. So we're going to go ahead, blow this guy out of the water. AP rounds just to make sure he goes down, and there goes the Ioba. Man, talk about a full menu on this particular fight. Absolutely amazing. It looks like we might... No, never mind, we don't. I was going to say we might still have the Fubuki alive, but he is down. Take a look at that Ioba, guys. A lot of work. But how did we do ultimately at the end of this battle? I'm going to take a look here at the report, and it looks like we had 30,000 tons sunk. The enemy had 30,000 tons sunk. We have slightly more sunk than they do on our side. So I guess maybe it's actually a loss for us. I'm not sure. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. I want to thank everybody for being so supportive about these War on the Sea videos. And I'm going to just go ahead and allow the sinking to happen. I know some of you guys do enjoy watching the sinking. So for those of you that don't, take care, see you in the next video. And for those of you that do, well, please enjoy.